So welcome to another episode of the Wafflecast. So I know I haven't done one in a while, but been super busy, but I am back at it. So today we are going to talk about the Pro Tour because a lot of you, like myself, heard or watched the Pro Tour and saw the outcome of the Pro Tour and what a lot of people were expecting to happen because of the new combo with Nadu and Shuko. So I originally was going to be on one side of the fence right now when I started this video. But as I started to do some research and I started to look into some stuff, I have a totally different viewpoint than when I started with the idea of making this video. And some of you are probably going to hate my viewpoint, but that's okay. That's why I like to have these discussions. That's why I like to make this content. But let's dive into it, right? So there should be an image on your screen soon, if not already, when I do the editing. But it's going to show you the modern metagame breakdown. And if we count in 4-color with Bant, Nadu, it was 25% of the field, this combo, okay? The 4-color, it put in black to do like Thoughtseize and Orcish Bowmasters and a couple other neat little tricks and things. But I think the Bant Nadu was much more consistent and much more, focused around the combo rather than being disruptive or trying to get cute. So 49 of the decks were the Bant Nadu and 13 were 4-color. So that's like what, quick math, 62 decks. 62 of the decks were Nadu combo. And it's funny because 62% of the 62 other decks, which were about the same amount of the percentage field, were completely homebrews or something else. So 50% of the field was either Nadu or something that wasn't already established. Ruby Storm and Jeskai Control were up there along with Mono Black. We did see some Eldrazi come in there with some Eldrazi Tron and Gruul Eldrazi, which was interesting to see. Mono Black Grief still in there. There's a couple other things. So I came into this video with the whole purpose of presenting an argument on why Nadu needed to be banned. But, like I said, doing some research, looking at some stuff, I am actually against banning it right now. I think we need to take a step back as people who have played this game. Some of us who have played this game for a long time, some of us who haven't. If you hearken back to the days of like Cobblade and some of the other decks that were very oppressive and or good, they didn't ban those decks right away. Now, mind you, we had way more tournaments than we do now as far as high competitive level tournaments, like GPs, Pro Tours, things like that. We had a lot more of those going on. I think it's about a fourth of that now in the current scheme of things versus how it used to be. I mean, you had 2 GPs a month. You had 4 Pro Tours a year, which I think we're still at that. But anyways, the GP circuit was the big thing of keeping the metagame shifting a lot more than what you see now. So here's why, the main reason why I don't think Nadu needs to be banned immediately. 1, we need to see the deck perform more, because I think a lot of people were like, ooh, combo, it's fun, it's once you go off, it's there. There have been lots of decks in the past that are combo decks that do well in their first outing, and then they tend to fizzle off and disappear. Cascade Swans was one that did really well in its first outing, and then it disappeared. You look at a Amelia combo that did really well the first couple tournaments that it was out. Now it's kind of just, it's there. You look at Storm. Storm was a really good deck. They did nerf some pieces to it eventually. But that's why I'm saying, let's let the deck play out for a little while. Let's see if it actually is as oppressive as Cobblade and some of the other decks that did get the ban hammers because they needed to be. We need to see that. So I know a lot, like in Pioneer, Arc-like Phoenix is the blue-red Arc-like Phoenix deck. That is a very oppressive deck. It is very format warping. We still need to see if Bant Nadu is going to be like that. I mean, if you look at like Yawgmoth, like that deck wasn't really... I'm not even seeing much of it on here. I think it was probably in the other. Yawgmoth combo was really good with Gristide and all that. So, yes, the deck performed really well. It performed as it should. I think a lot of people are going to be more apt to plan against it and hate it. That's the true test, okay? If we see that this deck performed really well in its first outing, and we go another 6 months or even 3 months of high competitive tournament play, and this deck is even beating like the hate, like people are like, remember what was it, Hacken or Hagon or whatever, I can't pronounce the name, I can't remember, but that one got banned because it couldn't even get hated out. There's certain decks that if you try to hate it out and it doesn't get hated out, that's when it's too powerful. When you literally are playing the deck to try to beat it, or you're playing the deck, and there's no ingenuity, there's no variance, there's no what's the word? No real metagaming other than you either play the best deck or you play the deck to try to beat it. And then if you're playing the deck to try to beat it and you play the mirror match, you guys are like staring at each other, hating life. If you're both playing Nadu, who goes off first? You know what I mean? So it's going to come down to how well can this deck go up against the hate. Now that everybody knows it's out there, now that everybody knows the deck list, they can look at the 75s of a lot of these players. Yes, some of them vary from team to team because each one's trying to find that secret tech. I mean, there was... Sam Pardee's version played, I think it was 1, if I'm correct, Volatile Drake main. It could have played 2. I don't remember exactly how many, but it was to steal the opposing player's Nadu so that they could go off. It was basically giving themselves another Nadu in the deck so they could play 5 or 6 Nadu. So that's what I mean. They're not all the same, but there's little variances to them depending on how the team tested and figured things out. So... that is my biggest argument to letting this deck continue, because we don't know how it's going to do against the hate. We don't know how the field is going to adjust and how it's going to evolve to beat this deck. Like I said, if it gets too oppressive to where even the hate can't beat it out, and it's still putting... I mean, look at the numbers it put up. A lot of people who played this deck made day 2. It was 5 out of the 8 slots in top 8. It was all 4 slots in the top 4. And I'm counting 4-color with Bant. There's no reason to separate them. It's like I said, there was little tweaks between. So to have the top 4 and the finals be this deck, it had a very strong outing. It had a very good run. But let's see how it plays out. Now, I get it. We see a problem with a deck. Everybody wants to immediately, let's ban it. Let's get rid of it. Here's the thing. If we immediately ban everything that comes out that's good, what are we doing as a community as far as creating that metagame and creating that atmosphere of deck building and creativity? We're neutering it. That's what we're doing. Just because somebody came up with a really good deck doesn't mean we need to neuter it right away. Okay? Let's let it, like I said, let's let it play out. Let's see if there's another deck that can come out. I mean, Modern Horizons is still new. Okay? Modern Horizons 3, there's still a lot of ingenuity. There's still a lot of deck crafting that can be done with the cards that came out. Plus, we have Bloomborough coming. We have a bunch of other stuff, Assassin's Creed. So, there. There's an old saying to where you may be the best, but guess what? Eventually you're going to be overtaken by somebody who's better. And I know I'm not saying it correctly 100%, but there is this thing of when you become the best, eventually somebody's going to be better than you. And so that means that this deck right now is the best deck in Modern. Hands down, very efficient numbers, very good showing, best deck right now. This is the boogeyman. This is the deck to beat. So now, here's the main question. If you are a professional player or somebody who wants to get into playing Modern professionally, would you rather see a creation of yours? Let's say you're the person who created Nadu because you were trying to be ingenuitive and come up with a deck that's better than what was out there. And your deck instantly got banned because it was too good in one tournament. How are you going to feel as a deck crafter, as a player, as somebody who loves to figure out the game? You're going to feel like, well, why bother? Why would I try to build something new? Because then that deck's going to get broken down and banned. And then the next one, and the next one. We cannot throw the ban hammer at everything. Okay? Yes, there are going to be cards that are powerful. There are going to be cards that are broken. There are going to be cards that absolutely are trash. That is what makes this game so much fun. That's what, as at a professional playing level. I remember my early days of playing professional Magic and trying to build decks to beat the current best deck. And me and my friends, we did it a couple times to where we built a deck. We went to a tournament and we jammed this deck that we play tested the crap out of, and we just wiped the field because we knew what everybody was going to be playing. And so we went against the grain and built a deck and we beat them. So this is where, like I said, I was all for banning Nadu. But then when I looked at everything and I kind of sat down and got into the player's perspective of things, I said, why would I ban it? Why don't I just come up with something that will beat it? And yes, with combo decks, the main prowess of a combo deck is to draw efficiently, to build the deck in a way where your draws are smoothed out in a way to where the combo becomes fairly easy to manipulate and do. And Nadu does do that. So, yes. So like I said, I don't like the deck per se. It's not my style of deck. To me, it's boring. Okay, you're just flipping cards over. You're doing it. Storm was fun because that was a numbers game, in my opinion. And don't get me wrong, there are numbers with Nadu. You got to know your percentage of lands that are in the deck, and when certain cards surface, what card could be coming up and things like that. Don't get me wrong, there's numbers to it. But when it came to Storm, that was a true numbers combo of knowing, okay, if I go off now, my percentage of winning this game is this because they're going to put me to the... Anyways, I'm not going to go too far into it. But the point is there was a lot of calculation with that combo deck. Ad nauseum, tendrils. There's a lot of combo decks out there that you have to know percentages, you have to know probabilities, and all these different things. I feel like Nadu is a very simple version of that because you're just kind of like, do we hit it? We got there. Oh, we didn't get there. It's a pretty fluid draw. I was watching some of the matches with it, and especially the one with Simon Nielsen and Sam Pardee. And it was interesting to watch those two guys play because they're really good. I'm glad Simon finally got a win. He's been top 8ing like crazy, which is really hard to do, to even just top 8 one Pro Tour. He's done 5 out of the last 6. That's impressive. Kudos to him. Congrats finally getting that trophy. I'm glad to see he got one. And Sam Pardee is no slouch. So yeah, my stance is let's not ban it. And I know there's a big cry for it. So I don't want to go too much farther into this. I just wanted to talk about the Pro Tour a little bit and put my point of view on what I think should happen moving forward in Modern's current metagame. And I think this is the TLDR version, if you fast forwarded. Don't ban it. Let it ride out for a couple months. Let's see what kind of numbers it puts up in specific tournaments and or, like Arena and a couple other things. And let's just see how it plays out. And let's just see what happens from there, because it's either going to do one of two things, obviously. It's either going to become a powerhouse to where we do have to go in and ban, and the card we ban is Nadu. There's no other card. You have to ban Nadu. Or it just kind of falls off and just becomes another deck in the metagame to where it kind of sneaks in every once in a while, like Dredge. Dredge is one of those decks that just pops up every once in a while and wins a tournament, and then it kind of fizzles away, and then it comes back, and then it fizzles away. It's just one of those decks that kind of like, you got to kind of play for it a little bit and be wary of it and know what it does, but you really don't have to worry too much about it. So those are the two paths it's going to take. Let's just see what happens. That's my take on this. Do not ban anything, Wizards. Please. Let us create an environment where people actually have to come up with a way to beat something rather than rely on Wizards to go, well, I guess we messed up. Let's take it out. No. Use your brain. Go make a deck that will be better than Nadu and can still compete with the rest of the field. So that's my take on things. If you guys disagree, please comment down below. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Like I said, I started this video wanting to ban Nadu and then took a different route. But that's me. That's what I got to say. Let's have a discussion. If you are for banning Nadu, please put in the comments down below why you think Nadu should be banned. Similar to how I brought my points. And let's have a discussion. Let's have some fun with this. But that's what I got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys got something out of it. And I'm glad to be back and making videos again. And let's hope it stays. But with that, I'm going to get off because this is a long video. Did not mean to go that long. So anyways, I hope you guys have a good day. And as always, stay surfy, my friends.